Hello everybody, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. We're going to try something different here, so many great games, and just for cleanliness, I'm going to do a match reaction on this game, the Liverpool-Benfica game. Liverpool, of course, winning the game 3-1 away from home in the Champions League, first leg of the quarter-final. And then I'm going to do another video talking about Man City and their victory over Atletico Madrid. So if you want to watch both videos, both I'm going to upload at the same time. Let's see what happens here. If you want to watch both, then great. If you don't, watch both. Cheers. So Liverpool, they navigated it. It was a little bit messy, I thought. It was one where, if we go straight to the average positions, I felt like it was an element of sort of business as usual. Also, a kind of big element of, I thought it was a little bit leggy. A little bit leggy, a little bit sloppy, and one where Benfica actually deserved a little bit of credit for how they came out in the second half of the game. Maybe we can see this in the momentum bar, actually, more so than anything else. That they had that little patch in the second half of the first half, and it's essentially after it was 2-0. So I think everything's got a caveat. You guys are going to go in the comments and you can look at it cynically, you can look at it optimistically. Optimistically, it's the same story as last time with Inter Milan, away from home, 3-1 victory, lovely jubbly, 2-goal lead at home, Anfield Roar, all that jazz, no injuries, 3 goals, happy bloody days. And in terms of the lineups, that was interesting as well. No Jota, no Firmino. I mean, all 3 came on, and that's something that actually I've noticed in some of the games, that Atletico Madrid, 3 subs in one go. Liverpool, 3 subs in one go. Man City, 3 subs in one go. In the Champions League, where you've got 5 substitutes to be made, a lot of teams are kind of using that impact of 3, because you still got 2 after that, because you've got 5, of course. But in terms of the setup, to not play Jota, to not play Firmino, to not play Henderson, I think was... what I think so amazing about this is that Klopp said, I think all my teams are strong. And they are. They really, really are. And that's the thing watching this game is... And when I watch Atletico Madrid and Man City, the big thing for Liverpool is they dominate every single game. And even the goal, Darwin Núñez, who... I thought Darwin Núñez was interesting, because he really worked the channels as much as he could, actually. A lot of this play, you know, his average positions here is through the centre. But to be honest, I bet if we go to his heat map, the bulk of his touches were actually out wide. Where is he? There you go, down that left-hand channel. And that was the focus for Benfica, certainly in the first half, trying to sort of go one-on-one with Konaté. We've spoken about, there's a video on the channel where we talk about the weaknesses of Liverpool. And when we talk about the weaknesses, we talk about this area here, the left-hand side, you know, getting in behind Trent, who was... I mean, majestic with the pass. I mean, quiet otherwise, interestingly. And I think, again, please, like, don't come after me with all this stuff where you're going after Trent or you're going after these things. I think we can have a nuanced discussion about both. And what I'm saying, that pass for the second goal, where Taarabt had an absolute stinker in the first half in particular, was far too poor on the ball. And I was really, really surprised. I was disappointed, you know, the boy's there even. And it was disappointing to see him struggle as much as he did in the first half. Second half got a lot better, as did Benfica. But Trent was a little bit quiet. He was a little bit quiet. But the main focus for Benfica in terms of how they were going to ever hurt them was Darwin Núñez, picking up these spaces here and then looking to drive and using the pace that he had. The goal came from a poor moment from Konaté, who he'd sort of battled diligently, where there was moments where he looked really, really good and really solid, but of course he was coming up against a really exciting striker in Darwin Núñez, who I'm intrigued to see go to a Premier League side and see how his role evolves a little bit, if he would still drift off to that left-hand side. He's playing for a team that does like to counter-attack, and with that, he kind of drifts over to that left-hand side. But in the Premier League, if he's going to go to a big team, the bulk of the big teams have players who are already wanting to be on that left-hand side, and you don't want that kind of player to go and do that as well, as good as he is. He took his goal well, but really, if you look at the first half of the game, I tweeted it myself, they actually had, in the first half, Liverpool had 6 big chances. Salah a little bit off colour in terms of taking his chances, missed 2 big chances in this game, but was still 2-0 up. And that's what I mean, it's one of those where, what sort of standards are we critiquing Liverpool? Are we critiquing them in a way where we you look at the final facts, which are the goals, which are the chances. Because when we look at that, I think it was all, pretty competent stuff. But I think for the levels that you expect of Liverpool these days, there was a period there where they were wobbling a little bit. I think the substitutes help. And I think that's one thing I would say about all these substitutes. I think they help the team attempting to defend more so generally than the team attempting to attack. I mean, we can talk about this more in the Man City video because both teams made 3 changes and actually it worked out a little bit better for Man City. But I think to have that depth that they've got, to bring on Firmino, Jota and Henderson to sort of quieten it all down a little bit, then you bring on Milner as well. It's just a really, really good team. I mean, a couple of big talking points I thought. One was the fact that Van Dijk and Nunez with the penalty shout. I have a couple of thoughts on this. First of all, before I saw the replay of it, I was like, well, if it's not, he clearly gone for it with his arms. So if he's not touched him, you've got to book him. You've got to book him. But then when I see the replay, and I've spoken about this numerous times, and it's a bit like the Jota one, and I go back to the same rule, and I stand by this rule. I think it's a smart rule. It's the get up rule. That amount of contact from Van Dijk, when you talk about, say, what was it, Jota against Crystal Palace maybe, that was one where I was like, get up. And this one was exactly the same. It was like, get up. You could have kept going there, you could have scored a goal. And we need to sort of attempt to retain some form of ability to be genuine and integrity. And so it was nearly a booking, but he's lucky that there was an element of contact. But it wasn't a penalty for me because of the get-up rule that I did like to apply. Diaz, I think I need to finish talking about him because he was absolutely fantastic. I just think it's unbelievable how well he's come in. It really, really is. And I'm going to be fascinated to see if he plays on the weekend because the form that he's showing, and also when I watched him after his first game, I kind of made some sweeping statements that were inevitably going to be not totally right. But when he played in that first game, he sort of came and picked up the ball. In this game, at times he did, but really he's always looking, and you saw it. There's that, that poor pass from Adel Taarabt for the second goal. The ball finds its way to Trent, and he's gone. He's already gone. And it's that tenacity that he's showing as a new player who's excited to make an impression that is just worth gold right now. And it might be one that fades a little bit and there might be that little dip in form, but I wonder if that's why he played Mane in that position today. I think Mane was good at times as well, but Diaz for the assist for that second goal and then getting his own goal as well, driving beyond. And as you can see with that hotspot there, for him to be getting into the penalty area like that, he has been utterly phenomenal for me. Utterly phenomenal. So impressive. He's a team player as well. When I'm trying to think of a man of the match, I think you go to Diaz because it's one of those where, assist, goal and all those things. But it's a team. It really, really is a team effort a lot of the time. And I thought Diaz just did take it for me for the endeavour that he shows to get in behind. You have to play quickly if you want to break teams down sometimes. And that's the one thing that Man City, with their dominance over possession, they want to do that. But those long vertical balls that you see, and actually Keita deserves some credit for the pass, because that timing of that pass, that again comes from an element of chemistry that shouldn't really be there. But Keita comes in, holds his pass, Diaz holds his run for a second, stays onside, pass comes through, and then the composure to go round and score the goal. Honestly, phenomenal for him to come in and make the impact when you've had such an established front three, and then you've had someone like Jota who's come in and done brilliantly for them as well. I'm going to be doing a preview on Man City Liverpool that's going to go out on Friday, guys, so make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't subscribed up until now, that would be massively appreciated. Hit the like button as well. Let me know your man of the match. I give it to Diaz, but let me know other players that you thought were impressive today. And it looks pretty comfortable for them. I do feel like they were touch leggy there, but I don't know if that was just the real endeavour from Benfica to have a real go for it. I was really impressed by their stamina, actually. I didn't really expect that from them. But they did leave a few spaces higher up the pitch for them, and they did get punished for those. Not a 10 out of 10 performance, but Liverpool, they march on, and they don't break either defensively, Even in that sort of solid patch for Benfica, not too many great chances, really. So special time for Liverpool, an amazing team to support. As a guy who's also watching the QPR game and we were losing again, enjoy your team right now because you're very, very lucky to have a team like Liverpool. Make sure you check out the Man City video. It's out now. I'll put a link to it here. You probably see it right now. Click on it right now. Easy peasy. See you in the next one.